Nintendo is something that started in Japan and has taken America by storm.
The company is based just outside Seattle, where it employs 275 workers serving the U.S. market.
And continue to jump.
This boy is doing more than just playing a video game. He has entered another world.
You are currently witnessing the first exploit I ever learned. While the 3-1 Infinite Man glitch is a conscious one, it was the first trick I remember my father teaching me. He used to tell stories of when Mario jumped over the flagpole and then the ambulance had to come because he broke his ass. Lo and behold, jumping over the flagpole is something that's possible. This singular game has kept so many communities alive, from glitch hunters to speedrunners to the average Joe like me who boots it up every once in a while. From saving the cartridge format to relighting interest in the gaming industry, Super Mario Bros. Is undeniably one of the most revolutionary titles to ever be released. And to this day, it still remains my favorite Mario game. Of course, besides this one.
The Nintendo Entertainment System, where video technology is more than a game.
Remove the CL, remove the IC, and you're right on the money.
This level looks like the devs vomited onto a tile map and called it a day.
Super Mario Bros. Becomes an oddly valorizing work glorifying the horrific imperialist conflict that was World War II from the perspective of the United States.
Super Mario Bros. Is a flawed masterpiece, one that I resonate with rather closely. Growing up with rather bad video games and movies, my bar for content is at a rather interesting height as I tend to give rather dull works a chance to shine. Think about it, a group of artists had a passion, came together, and created a work that they believed in, which that alone is something to cherish. But not every game is a Super Mario Bros., a game that changed the video game industry, Nintendo's future as a company, and the lives of millions of people around the globe. Without Super Mario Bros., would Nintendo be the juggernaut that they are today? Would video games have never been recontextualized as a piece of art? Would I have never found the friends that I had today?
Comparing Super Mario Bros. To the likes of Mario World, the new Super Series, Mario Galaxy, or Wonder, right off the bat, it's hard to call this little NES game the package deal. Even comparing it to Mario 3, a game from the same console, there are so many damn improvements on this sequel. However, these two NES cartridges are a lot different under the hood. The original lineup of NES games released in 84 through 85 are using the earliest possible chips NES carts could have, in America that is. The black box games used either 60-pin Famicom PCBs with a Famicom to NES converter built internally into the chip, or a 72-pin PCB that was specifically made for the American NES. Regardless of the chip used, these early games could barely hold 32 kilobytes. Hell, they could barely hold 16. Therefore, most of the games released around this time were small as hell with the file size.
Yo, John, Mickey D's.
Okay, thanks.
So back on the topic of Mario 1 and Mario 3, the first title has a file size around 40 kilobytes, whereas the other has a whopping file size of 222. All that extra space, while today being literal project file size, allowed for the Koopalings, world map, actual fucking colors, unique power-ups, a bunch of music and sound effects, detailed animation. Mario 1 ain't got shit on this. The NES presented many hurdles in terms of its hardware limitations, but with the continued development of cartridge chips, the shortcomings of the system would be overcame. That's how you had games like The Legend of Zelda, Castlevania, Mother, and Contra running on what is essentially modern calculator technology. And that's just the beginning of microchip lore. We could talk about the MMC-1, which was used in Zelda and allowed saving, but our main focus today is a game that doesn't have those main benefits. No, our game is fighting an uphill battle.
This game didn't use any of those special fancy chips, so the Super Mario Bros. Team, consisting of only 5 damn people, had to fight to fit sprites, levels, power-ups, animations, sound effects, music, lines of code, and everything else with only 31 kilobytes of storage in mind. Fighting for that space were 2 programmers, Toshihiko Nakago and Kazuaki Morita, as well as designers Takashi Tezuka and Shigeru Miyamoto, and the legendary composer Koji Kondo. This would be the core development team of the Super Mario Bros. Project, which began development in 1984. However, the project began as a simple demo with something akin to a hitbox as the controllable character. Funnily enough, Tezuka brought the idea to Miyamoto of using Mario from the Mario Bros. Arcade game as the protagonist, considering it was doing pretty well at the time. With Mario, or Jumpman's previous endeavors in Donkey Kong and Mario Bros., the idea of platforming finally began to take shape within the project. However, the original control schemes of the game reveal a larger emphasis on shooting with some type of beam gun, while up on the D-pad was relegated to jump. Many concepts were drawn up in this initial adventure for Mario, such as the idea of propeller mushroom or riding a dragon that resembles Yoshi. It was a dance between between the designers and the programmers to do what realistically could be done in the hardware. Over time, the final playstyle we know today would be established, and thus final design elements of the levels and sprites would come into effect. And during all this, Koji Kondo was creating musical pieces for the game. The beautiful underwater theme composition was the first created for the game, inspired by the pretty color palette used in the scenery. As Kondo began to witness the development of the game's iconic scenery, he created a track that was calm, or as he put it, lazy. So Kondo went back to the drawing board, recreating the theme for the video game. The speed and energy of the gameplay, it needed to be accompanied by a track that fit this energy, and with the final vision of the game taking shape, it would ship out sometime in September of 1985 to the States. And what greeted people's ears when they started the game, it was perfect.
After school, even on the day that brings the first beautiful snowfall of the season, everyone's eager to get inside the house so they can rush to get to the television set. Never has there been a toy that's been this successful.
Super Mario Bros. Is an adventure. Picture yourself as a child in 1985, and what you have to play is shit like Pitfall, Adventure, Pinball, and then one day, this fucking plumber comes into your house and starts jumping all over the place. Your mind can't fathom how fast this game is, how responsive and grabbing the colors are. This game is a fucking phenomenon. And it also had a story. The evil King Koopa bastard turned the peaceful Toad race into bricks using his black magic. What the fuck? And Princess Toadstool needs our saving. Alright, let's cut the crap. In 1986, this game was bumping, but now in a Mario Wonder world, how can this compete? Like, games on the same console were doing so much more, and you could go backwards in some of them. Like, Jesus Christ, even Sonic's first game got springs right. This game is fucking buggy. Alright, let's pop this fucker in and see what we're in for. A lot of the levels in Super Mario Bros. Can be put into a few genres. You got the land levels that consist of a lot of enemy pipe obstacles, the falling platform levels that are mostly accompanied by mushrooms, the underground levels that often contain a warp, the water levels, and castle levels that are either straightforward hellfire or cryptic fucking mazes. And a lot of these levels can be chalked up to, oh, bullet bills and piranha plants are fucking everywhere. And congratulations, you almost beat the level that's filled with piranha plants, but a Koopa on the fucking stairs kills you. And they hide these fucking vines randomly in the game and it sends you to... When discussing this game with my gamer comrades, a certain red motherfucker says that Super Mario Bros. Has a lot of repeated jumps and design tropes that lead to many levels blending together. And he's fucking right. I vote that this game was made with holding right the entire time in mind, because when running through all of the level design, the game's actually manageable. When playing this game as a platformer at the speed of my little sister, holding run and walk at the same time is unfathomable. Once you slow down to observe the level design of this game, a lot of it is just running and jumping at seemingly random intervals of time. See, I believe there is some thought in the level design. The first level may come off as repetitive with the same pipe jump 4 times in a row, but it was designed as one of the first platformers of its kind. So the first level adopted terrain that trains players to hit question blocks to get money and power-ups, avoid anything that moves, and the latter 2 pipe jumps teach the player that you can hold A down for a higher jump. Now in replay you just skip the fucking level. A lot of Super Mario Bros. Replayability can be skipped over, so if you want the full experience, you have to choose to romp through every single level, and why would you do that? I will admit that while playing this game through all the way, there are some levels that are so fucking bullshit. Like, there are 2-3 levels that are just running from fucking fish. What about 4-1, which is use the broken piranha plant hitbox to jump over their pipes in a straight line? That Goomba is there so you jump on it and bounce into the bullet. Or how about castle levels that require you to follow an Instagram meme recipe route? My god, this level... Who'd put that there? But I will die on this hill when I say that World 8 is pretty fucking great. I'm not getting that free guy because I don't need it. Taking into account the game's design limits and the structure it adopted of the 4 levels per world, World 8 stands as the ultimate test with a pretty decent variety in its levels. You know, I can't really seem to... No. Oh god. Oh. No. Stop. Go away. No. No, gee. No. Oh, fuck. Go. Stop! 8-1 is the most traditional Mario level in this world with its natural form, swarms of enemies, tall piranha pipes, and daring bottomless pits. The stairs to the flagpole also gets increasingly destroyed as the world continues.
Honey, I don't know how else to tell you this. These are the same damn thing.
I also like the placement of the star because if you know where it is, it makes the latter half of the level a breeze. In fact, I think item placement in this game is just good in general. It adds more exploration to the levels and really makes you want to slam Mario's head into everything. 8-2 greets you with a Lakitu and a paratrooper falling down the fucking stairs, but if you stand right here, you're completely fine. There's also this 1-up that respawns every single time you die because this level's fucking stupid. But I think this level also contains the hardest jump in the game. This one. We're gonna take the upper path now. Oh, it's like a Sonic level. Look at that. There's 2 paths. They both lead you to death. That's one thing about this game. A lot of the earlier levels have multiple paths via the underground passageways that sometimes even lead to a water level, but those are completely omitted in World 8. It was either Nakago or Morita who was designing the game was just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck our stupid players. And Shiggy's just sitting there smiling, playing his fucking banjo while everyone else is programming his shit into the game. So I like Hammer Brothers. They're like a toll booth or a speed bump. Like, oh no, you're going too fast. You have to stop and dodge some shit. They're not in every level, but when they appear, you have to stop yourself to make sure that you either don't get hit or, you know, you just take the hit and move on with your life. 8-3 is nothing but fucking disappointment. Ooh. Alright. Oh my god. So they had to code out every single enemy, right? Every single enemy needed to have collision with both themselves, Mario, and the Koopa Shell if they, the Koopa Shell hits it. The thing is, the Hammer Bros don't have it. So the game likes to give you this false sense of security that immediately gets ripped away once you realize that no one's here to help you. And just to think I chose this over shooting ducks. And then you get to the end of the level and the fucked up stairs reminds you why you don't go to the Waffle House closest to your crib. But with only one more level remaining, how bad could it be? This is that you can just walk on the ground and nothing hurts. I make my jump, I make my second jump, and I seize the opportunity to kill Bowser. I don't know which one of these Japanese fucks thought it was funny to put a hidden block in front of one of the right passages, but hey, that's the last level. I'm not a fan of choose the right pipe scenarios in Mario games because it's really lazy level design. Every finale after this incorporated some type of nice boss fight that really rewarded you for getting to the end. This is just stupid. Fuck.
I just always see the positive in things. Is it really that good?
And Nintendo addicts have plenty of gadgets to fill their video appetite, including cereal, clothes, and scores of other trinkets. It's a fad that at this point knows no limit.
This game inspired an entire industry to kick its legs back into action, building a brand and following the size of none that came before it. Mario was the video game, and it would get remade and repackaged in the 90s a few times, but ultimately, Mario evolved into a franchise that built upon the ideas of this original game. Over time, the series would keep outshining itself, leaving this old game in the history books. Of course, when the Wii U 3DS Virtual Console came out, people bought Mario 1, played it a few times, but that was that. Super Mario Maker exists, but it adopts physics so alien to the original that it doesn't feel the same. Switch Online comes out. Some people play Mario 1, and that's that. It's a part of history, nothing more. But not to me.
But what is it that fascinates kids so much about these games? What is it?
The adventures and all that. It's when they're bored they have something to do instead of spending quarters.
Super Mario NES, while simple, was everything it needed to be. It pushed its hardware to the absolute brink, and it brought one of the most original and important ideas to game design. And upon playing its remakes, I just didn't feel the same magic.
Super Mario All-Stars, so much Mario is a Mario smorgasbord. It's all the way down Mario Brothers adventures you ever played and then some. But this is juiced up 16-bit only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mario. So it's bigger Mario, better Mario, in your face Mario. It's Raccoon Mario, Mario throwing fireballs, Mario hurling turnips, Mario negotiating an arms deal. Okay, maybe not.
The Super Nintendo! This thing plopped out in September 1991. It had balls on it. It was overall a great console. But some fuck at Nintendo thought it would be cool to remake the original Mario Brothers games in the SNES format. And they did just that in July of 1993 with Super Mario All-Stars. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit of a hater. The only reason that I don't like All-Stars is strictly because of the way Super Mario Bros. 1 is portrayed. The rest of the games are fucking amazing. In fact, I think this is one of the greatest things that Nintendo's ever done. Sorry for crying. On the one hand, you could like the original sound design better than the SNES's hardware and all that. The bonus rooms now have a fun jingle and shit. Maybe you just hate fun. What I really care about here has nothing to do with aesthetics, but the gameplay. You know, the important thing you should maybe take seriously in a video game. In simple terms, this game controls the way Taco Bell tastes. A new theme, but it's also nice that they have a level preview. That sounds like old Flash games. See, the physics of Mario and the environment have been updated to now be a carbon copy of Mario 3. You know, a game designed without the implication of Mario 1's level design. Got this shit, man. You know, Muggery wouldn't have put that there. What you're left with is a Frankenstein experience of Mario Bros. That just doesn't fit. One thing I never got is why Mario's head just goes completely through these fucking bricks. Like, in the original, at least they boost them down. The distance and height of the jumps were not accounted for in Mario's physics, leading to timing of everything being completely different, which on its own could be fine, but when the level design is a literal copy of the original, you're gonna run into a lot of problems. Alright, it's time to do my favorite jump in the... The fuck is that? I swear to God. This game was made by people who can't see. I just had a Baja Blast. I can do this. What? I have a solution. Fuck! Why did they have to change the hitbox? Sure, dude, before I was able to, like, see, I get far!
Now the rookie Christie on man. And now LeBron comes behind with a strip. Oh, goes into the seats, up and over.
Remember Piranha Plants and how their design was just perfect enough for jumps like this to be possible in the original? Well, fuck that. Now their hitboxes make sense. And I haven't mentioned the simple physics of breaking bricks fucks with me on a spiritual level. This creates an experience that doesn't fit the original vision of the game, and I feel like if people played this game and say, man, the original Mario sucks, I can't really blame them. But holy shit, it gets worse.
With games like Super Mario Bros. Now in color, you might actually forget where you are.
Mario NES would see 2 re-releases on the Game Boy family of systems. One of them is a straight ROM of the original compressed to fit GBA screens released as part of the NES Classics in 2004. I can't hate on this version. It's the exact same game, piranha jumps and all. But before this shady ass release, there was a remake. So upon first inspection, this is Super Mario Brothers. Same art style, same coloring. How the fuck can you hate on extra content? You got world map, the toads at the end of the worlds are animated, and so is Toadstool. You got a red coin Yoshi Egg hunting mode that turns the game into an actual scavenger hunt, unlockable goodies, and Boo Racing? Oh god, yes. And the first 8 worlds of Mario the Lost Levels? Excuse me. Super Mario Brothers for super players. How could I possibly hate on this?
Yeah, like I said, this game is peak. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. There's multiple pathways in the levels. As you can see, I took the top pathway.
I'm sorry, but zooming in single-handedly fucks this game's pacing up. Given the scavenger hunt, these levels are now more enticing to explore, but come on! They put vines in this game as a fucking joke. Do you think the design team of Mario Bros. Had any intention of adding collectibles into these stages? No! There are many jumps in Super Mario Bros. Deluxe that get fucked up because of the camera. I understand that you can adjust this thing, but the fact that you can adjust the camera means that it will be out of focus a lot of the time. This game is just the original, but zoomed in. It loses the freeness that the original had, and I just want to go back. This game has lived on for decades past its release. It's working on hardware that is handicapped, but it acts like it's too much. This was the first of its kind, so the design hiccups become more prevalent with every passing year in innovation. But the broken design and physics work together to somehow create one of the most perfect platforming experiences. And even if nostalgia blinds me, I never want to leave.
8H. Oh my god! Yes! Yes!
Oh shit! I cannot believe it.
Sometimes you just love something so deeply and you can't describe it, regardless of whether it deserves it or not. Without this game, I wouldn't have fallen in love with retro things. I wouldn't have collected. I wouldn't have met the friends I made today. So, for all intents and purposes, this game, it's home. And while this adventure is over, there are still many more to be had beyond just this. Are you fucking